Good evening, and I have to say it's a bit of a good evening against all odds because I got home from Finland about like 3 minutes ago. We just walked through the door, threw everything down, plugged everything in, and immediately started, which is why I have my glass of water. I have my plate for my dinner, which we've ordered but hasn't arrived yet. So you're going to have to forgive me for eating on stream. I will mute my microphone. So yes, I've been in my house all of about 20, like I say, 20 seconds. But we're here. That's the most important thing. And Cheese has had treats, and I'm back. I really didn't want to, after such a busy weekend, let this stream go. I thought it was really important that we went on and did it anyway. So we're here. Literally, I landed at Gatwick Airport, which is on the other side of London, 2 hours ago. Had the worst tube journey ever because I had about 17 bags, obviously. And now I'm here. And I'm not the only one either, because it wouldn't be a stream if I didn't have a good friend to do it with me, whose camera is now on, which means I can switch to the thing. Hi, Gottem. Welcome back.
Hello.
How are you? How's
Thank
your
you for
day?
having
How's
me.
your week? How's your month?
It was a long weekend last night. I mean, it's not even a weekend, it was just last night. And it was so much happening at the same time. I've been super busy as well. So yeah, quite a pandemonium the last 24 hours.
I obviously was at UMK, which meant that I couldn't like sort of do multiple things at once. If I'm at home, this kind of thing is easier because obviously I have more time. I'm not traveling. But I was very much totally locked in with UMK. Missed everything else basically until today. Didn't really know what was going on until I looked at it. Watched everything on the plane on the way back. Quickly, thanks so much, Cyan Channel and Maiju, for your Prime subs. I appreciate it. Now, there's a lot of things that have happened, but I was wondering, just on a purely show level, having now, as I have too, charged through an absolutely ridiculous amount of national selections in 24 hours, what was your favorite selection?
Cool, definitely. Just the production level, the selection of songs. The others, I have a lot of opinions. I didn't watch them for a reason, and I think I make the right choice. But I think it's always enjoyable to see Cool. The intervals are great, the production is great. Clearly, the fans love what they're doing and put their everything they have in store towards the show, and it definitely shows based on what we saw last night. The other ones, not good.
Mixed. There was a mixed bag in my opinion. There's some stuff I really loved,
Yeah.
some stuff I didn't. I have just about the full spectrum of opinions tonight, from this is
Mhm.
incredible to this sucks and everything in between. Um,
Yeah.
I am going to, as you mentioned, Finland, and I happen to agree with you. We're going to go straight there. Nero, thanks so much for that super chat. Thanks for doing it for Janice in Finland. Also, Kai parodying themselves was hilarious. It was. If you look for a brief fraction of a second during the Comiat performance, the "Do It for Janice" sign was on screen. You can't read it, but it was there. I'll show you later. Let's get right into it. That's the wrong scene. That's the correct one. So, UMK 2026. We'll go through in the order they took place. And Luna, thank you very much for the donation. Says, join the Discord server. Yes, it's in the description. So, this is where we started with. Comiat. I have to say, a really pleasant surprise and an ingenious audience trick to start the evening. The thing with the handkerchiefs, great idea. It's so simple, doesn't cost very much money to do a quick run of immense amounts of handkerchiefs. And the whole audience really got into it, as you saw. So this surprised me live. I was sort of, here and there on it in the studio, but then it was honestly one of my favorites, and it made a perfect show opener. Gottem, what did you think?
But surprisingly, I was pleased with this song and with this performance. As you mentioned, the whole handkerchief thing was genius, and it definitely brought it to life. It fits so well with the staging they had in mind, with the concept, and it definitely that was the way to go in terms of getting the message across and getting the energy of the song across to the audience. I enjoyed it. This is not my kind of music, but I was not hating on it. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
So good score in my books.
Yeah, no, for me too. Also, I do want to say that actually I thought he was a really good live vocalist. He sounded exactly like the record. It's not the most challenging song vocally, not necessarily, but there goes Gottem. Now you've just got me. Oh, he's coming back. Well, it seems like my guest is now loading screen. There you are. Hello. You still having a little bit of issues? You're muted. Anyway, while you're muted, just so if you're wondering where I was sitting, so just off to the left-hand side of the stage here, in amongst this flurry of handkerchiefs, I am in there somewhere, a few rows back. We were in pretty good position, but not right at the front. I did have a sign that said "Do It for Janice," but unfortunately, I was just a little far away. Gottem, I'm just going to quickly pull you away for a second while you fix that out. There we go. I knew I had a button for that somewhere. A sort of remove guest button. There we are. Gottem, just give me a shout when you're ready to come back. Other things about this, I actually thought that this was like a really cozy staging. Like the little signs with all the different, things and the references to Lava Tansi, which is obviously a really important element of this performance. The sort of the way they're dressed, I find them quite sort of sympathetic characters and just fun. And it was a really, really good start to the show. And the good thing is as well with UMK, and actually this is a good point to mention it because we are at the start. And don't worry, Gottem will be back. He's going to let me know when his various bits stop playing up. So at the start of UMK, what you don't see on TV is they get everyone in the room half an hour before the show starts, and they do a 30-minute pre-show where they fire t-shirts out into the crowd, and they bring on some sort of alternate presenters and everything. Really sort of give it a bit of everything. But what that does is it gets the crowd super, super, super energized. Got him. If everything is fine, then I will bring you back. Oh, thank God.
I think everything is good now.
I think everything is actually better now. You sound better than you did before.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, and so it's actually a really smart thing because it means you get to song one and everyone's really like raring to go. You haven't brought them in cold. But yeah, my beard is thicker than usual. Usually I would have shaved it, but I just haven't had time. Ashka Marine, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. So yeah, a great start indeed. We will move on to Etta. So, this was sort of a bit contrast in this performance for me. I get the impression, because her vocal fell short, and we can all tell, I think, that the vocal fell short. I get the impression it might have been more like a combination of nerves and excitement more than anything else. Just from the way in which she was kind of... because it was the same in the rehearsal. And then all of a sudden, in the second verse in the rehearsal, she got way stronger and then sort of fell away again. At the same time, I will say that I thought the staging was really cool. The little thing with the sort of silhouette of her as a child was really emotional. This actually did make people cry in the room. Obviously, I think the connection with Finns and people who understand her story really adds to it. And this really, it went down well, but everyone then agreed when they saw it on TV that the vocal was just not there. Gottem, your thoughts?
Yeah. I wasn't so sold on this. I think after Komiat, it kind of felt like a letdown in terms of energy. Obviously, she sounded shaky, but it's probably excitement and nerves at the same time. I just don't like the song, and I think she's a good performer, but it just boils down to the song for me, and I didn't enjoy it all that much. I know it's like a very deep message for her in terms of lyrics, but it just isn't for me, and I definitely thought it was the weakest song and weakest performance of the night.
Yeah, unfortunately so. It's, at the end of the day though, like, she actually didn't finish last in this selection, which I think, given the level of quality, I think is an achievement. And this was never to win this show. It was never meant for that,
Yeah.
really. Um, the guy, one second, the guy who's delivering my dinner is calling me, so I'm gonna quickly. You keep everyone entertained for 20 seconds. I'll quickly.
Uh, uh, all right. Hello everyone. Um, I didn't like this song, but it's fine. I don't think we're gonna talk about San Remo tonight, which is gonna be a little spoiler for you, but I have thoughts and feelings about that, but I'm gonna voice them somewhere else. Other than that, I am trying to fix this thing with the camera. It really isn't working. See, this is how you know I can never be a professional like Gabe, because I suck at technical stuff. Back home in the village, we don't have cameras or Discord, so he should be back now.
Hello, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Let's go to the next song, which was Kiki. And I have a question to ask you about this afterwards, about this extremely robbed song. But let's quickly listen to some of it. They've done her a bit dirty with the clip, because I thought actually in general this is a really great performance. In my opinion, I would refer to this as like the aura farming staging, like where you kind of don't move much, you stay quite still. Thank you, Ollie. I really appreciate that. And you just kind of, you sort of stand, sultry looks, some dancing, not too much. It doesn't necessarily always work. Thanks, honey.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, one sec. There's a problem. Give me a minute.
Okay, we're back to it. The Gottem podcast. I will eventually take over this channel. Um, but yeah, I this song was so robbed. You guys have no clue how robbed this song was. Finally, Jesus Christ! Finally, the camera started working.
Oh, that is suddenly you are in much higher definition. That's what I was doing. That's why I went away from the camera. I was turning Gotham into HD. Please believe me. No, that was actually my fault, because I got the food. My fiance needed the PIN code to give to the driver, and I'd obviously run back in here. But yes, what I was going to ask you about this, Gotham, was
Mhm.
is this the best song and performance to ever finish last in a national selection? I can't think of anything
Yeah,
this good
yeah,
coming last in any show ever.
me neither. Me neither. I draw a comparison between this and what happened with Hoydamut in 2023. Like there was so much of a fan base behind both Hoydamut and Kiki, and somehow both of them ended up last, which I find deeply unsettling. She sounded a little bit shaky, but come on, the song. This was my winner before coming into the night, which is probably gonna be insane to some people, considering the Linda and the guy who is very hot and mesmerizing. I forgot his name. But that this was my favorite, and I just don't know why it ended up last. I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, I have exactly the same thing. I think the thing is that basically everyone got completely eaten up by Linda and Peter, getting a billion votes. Obviously, we will come to that. I think it's a shame because this was an extremely tough field, but like ultimately someone had to finish last. My food has just been slid along the floor to me. Thank you, honey. Someone had to finish last, and I think, to be honest, I would probably be. Oh, Kieran, thank you for the subscription. I would probably be asking the same question, no matter who it was who had finished last. What do you think about the point of view that some people have put forward that this staging was a little too static or that she didn't dance quite enough?
I disagree with that. See, I can see the criticism towards the staging because there obviously is the climax, pun intended, in the performance. Well, where you know what I mean, like where the red strobe lights appear. That needed to be more intense. In terms of her being static, I disagree. I think with mindful movements and gestures and her just aura farming, as you said, during the performance, I think she kind of made up for not moving too much and being sat on that horrific platform filled with sand. But it needed more. It needed more oomph, especially at that climax. Bismillah Rahim gave.
Yeah, no, I think the thing is though, what I did appreciate about the aura farming, about the camera shots in general, and it's the same with every single one in this uh, national selection.
Hmm.
Every little thing felt really deliberate. Like even the choices I disagreed with, I understood them. So like things would happen, I'd be like, oh, I get what they're trying to do,
Hmm.
which is half the job because you do get these performances, and we'll see a lot of national selections this evening where this is the case, where they've just kind of phoned it in, throw in some wide shots,
Hmm.
that bit's emotional, close in a little bit, cut the camera once every 15 seconds instead of, much more quickly, which is what you need to do to produce,
Yeah.
elite level stuff. And yeah, and this is the thing with Young Case. Every single thing felt so deliberate. I did actually bump into Sergio Hyan while I was there, and congratulated him on his excellent work myself. I'd really love to do with something around stagings later on in the season. In any case, we will keep going to the only thing that anyone voted for other than Linda and Peter. I'm almost scared to ask Gotham because I feel like this wouldn't necessarily be to your taste. What did you think of this performance in this song?
I liked the performance. The song, that's a different story. This is the thing I like about UMQ. Not everything is gonna be for me, obviously. We cannot get like seven trip hop and post punk songs in there. See, I would never put on this. But in a competitive sense, in a national final sense, I like seeing songs like this. And I especially like it when they don't win. This shouldn't have won, and I'm glad it didn't. But it was enjoyable to see. I think the Daisy staging looked great. I think that's what really solidified it for me. If it was more of a low budget performance, I definitely think I would have hated it. but it made sense and it's good for what it is, which is a novelty act. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta have some of
fire.
those in there.
I think the thing is that you need something with novelty to also be of quality.
Yeah,
And I thought this was really, really fun. People really got into it. Everyone was singing along. And then I watched it back and I was just grinning from ear to ear. Like it was so silly. I really love that shot there at the start of the second verse when he sort of goes yeah and the camera spins around. Like
yeah.
it's so clever. He has loads of charisma. The staging was so silly, but again, so fun. Um, I think in another era, maybe I would have been like, well, this would have been a great Eurovision entry. I think for Finland, I think some people actually said this to me. They were a bit worried about being perceived as the country of the silly men. You know, because obviously we had Cardio, Windows 95 Man,
Yeah.
and for that reason, I think there was even more of an inclination than usual to do something different and to do something that felt more slick rather than this, which was a very much kind of like tub thumper. One thing that was really fun, he came into his press conference and just started playing the accordion. He's just like he's the most whimsical person, and every now and then someone would ask him a question, he would just answer like yes, just because he could.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
very whimsical. That's the word I would use to describe this. It's very whimsical, and I liked it.
I loved it. We're gonna move on to Chachi, pleasant surprise with cherry cake.
Okay.
Well, I Janised her a little bit there because I skipped most of the clip, but we didn't get any of what I wanted to highlight anyway, which was actually the fact that her vocals were really good.
Yeah,
She was vocally so sound. This, in my opinion, she was one of the ones that I think people were maybe underrating coming in because people felt that she might be unproven. And the thing is,
hmm
with people who are unproven in this environment, it can go one of two ways. Some people, it works out. I think it was a bit touch and go with Celia Capsis until the end, but eventually she pulled it off. On the flip side, Nia River, if you want an example in UMK where it didn't work at all. This really worked. What did you think of Chachi?
it was a very competent performance. She did a great job. She sounded really good. In terms of the song, never was gonna win. Never was in contention for the victory. But seeing it purely as a performance without putting it in the competitive sense and just enjoying it, I think she did a good job. The song was catchy, but I think she really was the star of the show. She has so much charisma, and I think she made it work quite well.
No, I agree. Something slightly bizarre happened during this, which was that the performance finished and everyone started cheering. And as that cheering was going on, my phone buzzed and I looked down and it was a BBC News notification telling me that the Ayatollah was dead.
Same thing happened to me, but it was watching Hit perform in Bulgaria. Her
Oh
performing with
gosh.
Million.
And obviously, so on one hand, I've got this notification on my phone. On the other hand, Chachi is just like done a dance break, and I'm there like total sort of drive by. So what I'm worried is that this is going to be both associated with her. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this, and also this was the song that I heard when the news broke that the Ayatollah had been killed. Revpo, thanks so much for the 4.99. You could say the song was Chachi. Do you mean like as in Chachi as in catchy?
Yeah, that's not a word.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I really, really appreciate you anyway, though. But on this occasion, I think the pun may have gone over my head. Jay and Elfrost, thank you so much for the Prime subs, by the way. Chachi did not kill the Ayatollah. That's not what I said. Stop that. Let's move on. To, again, another really positive surprise. Let's have a look at Sinica Monte. This is how you stage a ballad. In my opinion, purely on staging alone, this was the best staging of the night. The only prop was a table. All the camera angles were so beautifully done. if you're going to bring a song like this is how you do it. Again, it wasn't in competition for the win, but the fact that I think it finished 5th or 4th in the end, when it was, everyone kind of assumed it would come last. But she was so good. Vocals executed well, staging perfect. Really, really gorgeous, in my opinion. Gottem, what do you think?
The performance was good. I don't think it was the best staging of the night. I think Linda and Peta easily take the cake for that. Um, but yeah, it was good. She performed it well. I don't really like the song. It's very Olivia Rodrigo, currently what's played on the radio. That's not really my niche. I don't really get it. It's just not for me. But in terms of performance, I think she did good. I was quite surprised that the juries liked it that much because at the end of the day, we're evaluating songs, and if we're focusing on the song, I wouldn't have put it in third, I think. But yeah, good performance, good staging. I don't know, something else. Something else. Next song.
I just think it's good to see things being maximized. Like, I can't really see how they would have made it better. Is my main point, and it became competitive on the basis of the stage package. Cole Anderson says, and thank you so much for the super chat. God, I love this performance. Sinica needs to come back. Honestly, my favorite of the night, but still glad they repeat one overall. Also, can't get over the fact that she was born in my country. She's Scottish. She is indeed. She's Scottish, but she grew up in South Africa, but she lives in Austria. But she's also Finnish, so she has everything. Let's keep on going. And of course, you mentioned Linda and Peter. This was the overwhelming main story of the night. Let's have a quick listen. I mean, sorry, that's a bit of a silly photo I'm just going to do. Well, that's not good either. That one's better. I like that one. A record score. Nothing has ever got that many points in UMK. Even more than Carrier, which kind of seemed impossible. I mean, I jumped into the Finland chat on my Discord server during this national final. Once this performance was done, the place was in meltdown. Everyone was gagged. I mean, there are. I will say this now. This is my big call, and I'm going to ask you the same question because it's the one that everyone is talking about today. This concept is a winning concept. The execution of the staging is not winning yet. Yet. They have 2 months to bridge that gap. Experience suggests that they will, because Finland always develops from the national final to the actual contest. Gottem, can this win Eurovision?
I would say yes. After seeing it in a performance setting, I was blown away. I got it beforehand. I like the song. I mean, the first time we listened to it, we were in Moldova together, one of the first nights, and we listened to it together. Back then, we knew there was something there. It took me a long time to actually see it as a winner. Going into the show, it wasn't my winner. Afterwards, it was. I was completely blown away. She is incredible, this blonde woman. She's everything I want to be when I'm 85. And him, I don't think I can discuss this topic on this YouTube channel. But it's good. It's really, really good.
You know, your taste in men every now and then is indistinguishable from like a wine mom.
Yeah, that's who is living in this body of a twink, of a 20-year-old twink. It's
Is
just a wine
a
mom.
wine mom. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Calamity Jean. By the way, and I'm sorry we didn't get to speak at that Gojo gig, but if you ever do see me again, feel free to come up and say hi. It'd be great to meet you, and thank you for your support. I mean, he is a definite pull factor in this song for Finns as well. Finns were talking about this beforehand, is that he's like such a heartthrob. You know, he is that artist in Finland that everyone like that. You know, that certain generation everybody listens to. But it's just it felt so good. And I didn't realize at first it's a confessional box. I don't know why that didn't click for me initially. I would just love to see a bit more interaction. I think there's a lot of potential kinds of shots you could do. You know, like Pitta is sat, with his back against this thing. You know, you could have a side shot, for example, where Linda is playing violin on the other side and he's sat, with his back against it, sort of slumped down. There's so many things you can do with this concept, which is why I'm so excited about it. We've just got a few little camera cuts at the minute, a few bits where it's like, oh, we just kind of need to buy a few seconds until the next thing. Let's find something meaningful to do with those seconds. That is my opinion. Also, the vocal. I want to talk about the vocal because, to be honest, when I heard the studio version, I was like, how on earth do you do that live? That is a jury-winning vocal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree as well. And it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. It really comes alive when it's staged. And I would have never guessed. I would have never even thought of doing a confession box for this. And it works so well. It works so well. I just hope they tweak it a little bit, but they don't tweak it too much. And yeah, because last year I think there was a little bit of a downgrade in terms of going from UMK to Eurovision when Erica did it. That's just my opinion. Everybody disagrees with me. I think the UMK performance was better. I hope they know what they're doing. But at the same time, last year they had to work with the EBU, trying to remove the nudity and the sensuality from Erica's performance. They don't have to deal with that here. So I think we shall be good.
Speaking of Erica Vickman, by the way, I held Erica Vickman's stage outfit in my own two hands at UMK Studios last Tuesday from Eurovision, and it was kind of like sort of seeing God.
She is God.
Yeah, and I also wore Cine Sabotage's hat, so you guys are going to want to see that bit of the video, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I just think this is so beautifully done. I was worried about how they'd integrate the violin, but it works. That was always going to be the most difficult thing, was to make it seem like they're both performing and it's not just a Peter Parkkonen song. And they did it. The question is, of course, that whether Finland can win Eurovision. I'm going to say this carefully because watch in chat, they're all going to get really excited about it when I do. That requires a poll. I'm going to watch it now. Watch the meltdown now. There we go. You guys never let me down. I'm starting it on YouTube now. If there's a Twitch mod in chat, if you could do it over there. I'm trying to see if anyone's in chat at the moment. There's no Twitch mod in chat. I shouldn't say that. People start breaking the rules. I don't know how to start polls on Twitch. Right, on Twitch, just say yes or no in all caps. Overall, while they're doing this, I'm going to ask you a question, Gottem, because it's a question I've been asking people and no one has been able to give me an answer for this yet. Can you name one single national selection ever that was better staged than this UMK? While I have a bit more Dutch chow mein.
Okay, that's difficult. Probably not. Probably not. I think the Finns have really mastered it in terms of production. I mean, they have been doing that for the past like 3 editions of Omku, and it's just, and there is still progression, which I find insane. Because what is the next step? I don't know what the next step is. How do you outdo the production of this show this year? But yeah, the production is really great, and I'm glad we're getting Pete's poll. Did it finish Pete's poll or?
I'm not dignifying with an answer. Bookboo, thanks so much. It was lovely to meet you too. As for the poll, yes, 85% of people say that yes, Finland can win Eurovision, and in Twitch chat, everyone was screaming yes, except for Dolphin Dane, who said not in its current form. I would say I'm a yes at present, and we should, of course, say, I'm going to quickly take this off screen so I can change the tab, that it seems tentatively the betting market seem to think there is a chance too, because you will see Finland has edged a little bit away and is now approaching 20%. Vincent, thank you so much. So we are excited. I think at the moment it's an obvious jury winner out of the field that we have now. Whoa, Delta Goodrum is fourth.
Yeah, happened like 20 minutes ago.
What? I didn't see that at all. I mean, I will say, I guess we could talk about that next, since we finished with Finland anyway.
Do we have to, or
Well, I'm gonna say I feel like I listened to the song on my way back here, so I've now heard it. It kind of feels like she's like trying to out Sanna Nielsen. Sanna Nielsen is what my friend GJ said to me. I agree with him. Gottem, your thoughts on Delta Goodrum's song?
I I have no clue who is betting on this and why. I really want to have a glimpse into the minds of the people that are betting on this. I don't see it. Welcome back into the 2010s with this song. It's so overdone, such a cliche. I hate it. No, okay, hated is an overstatement. I don't find anything to even dislike in this. It's just so mid. There's nothing there. Like, I don't hate it. I don't like it either. I just forget about it the second it stops playing. I don't know what's going on. I am really curious as to see who is behind this. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's so old fashioned to me. It's so naff. It's old maiden type of shoes, this song.
Yeah, I will say, I think a lot of it is to do with who is singing the song, because obviously Delta Goodrum is, I mean, for Australia in Eurovision, this is about as big an act as we could ever hope to have in terms of stature. She's been active for a long time. She's a very, very good performer. I will say, I think a few years ago, I would have railed heavily against it. I've mellowed on this kind of stuff a bit because I think this kind of fun, it's fun, it's unchallenging, it's sort of quite stereotypical for Eurovision or whatever. Because it's quite well done and quite well produced, I'm like, okay, we can have a couple of these, I wouldn't want a field full of them, but sometimes it is nice to have a song that feels like a bit of like a kind of refreshing glass of water between a bunch of, Long Island iced teas and pina coladas or whatever. You completely disagree with me.
Yeah, I just don't see this as a refreshing water. There's nothing refreshing about this. I don't see how. I don't think the people that hate on Vanilla Ninja have no right to go and hype this song, because to me they're on the same level. They're on the same level. It's 2010 is what it is.
Called out on my own stream. I never thought this would happen for me. Never thought this would happen to me, Neuro. Thank you so much. Too mid for Gotham. Professional hater, he says. No, I wouldn't say. I feel like you're like a semi-professional hater.
There has been a healing recently. We kind of have toned down a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're very much. I'm getting a little worried about you because you spent like that whole UMK. You were nice about everything.
I'm shocked as well. Trust. I am just as shocked as you are.
Yeah, it's not going to stay the same, I think, as we move along.
No.
We have a few more, of course, to do. There really is an embarrassment of riches as to where we go next. To the point that I am actually almost tempted to do a poll again. So, dear audience, who next? I'm asking you. And we're doing 4 options. Serbia, Germany, Norway, and Lithuania. I don't know why I said
Bulgaria.
that. We'll get to... Bulgaria is just one song, so we'll intersperse it. We'll do that after the next one. I promise. Don't worry. You'll get your turn. At the moment, it's looking rather Nordic, I have to say. I do think we'll go through all 4 of these tonight, so don't worry. There's plenty more to dissect, and then I think we'll sort of revisit some of the wider themes as we go on as well, as they come up. I don't think I'm going to be as enthusiastic, Gotham, about the rest of the selections as I was about UMK. There's good stuff. There is good things, right? Gold nuggets in all of these, but
I'm
it's
yet to see it.
well, I will argue the case. The people have chosen, and for some reason, the people have chosen Norway. Um,
Oh no! Oh no!
so Norway, it will be. Um, I'm gonna rely more on your help for this because they didn't upload all of them to YouTube, but I've seen most of them. So here we go, starting with an Irish Eurosong demo. This is like Queen of the Kings, as we know, but Gotham, what did you think? Did it improve it for you at all seeing it on stage?
No, no. um, I like her. I'm glad we got to see Maxi Rainbow on stage. I think it was good. The song in itself, I hate. This is really MGP. I hate MGP. It's just so basic and so flat. It just fell flat. But that's the case with every song in this national selection, I fear. Um, I would say if we have to judge it and be like constructive at least, I think this is one of the better songs and performances of the night. Which saying that makes me wanna gouge my eyes out, but it's true. That's what I have to say. Nothing else.
Once I had a mouthful of food and you made me snort.
Apologies. Well, am I wrong? Let me ask the audience.
I will say it is very, very Queen of Kings. It's very, very MGP. Um, Thank you so much. By the way, really appreciate that. Said trigger water, trigger warning, MGP. Yeah, it's one of these ones. It's like it's fine. Like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, it's an MGP song, and I kind of like, I wouldn't say I rolled my eyes and moved on, but I didn't really, I never really connected with it. I will say, I think some people have more kind of. I also think a lot of people didn't deliver. Some people have more mitigating circumstances than others, and I'm sure we'll get onto that. We'll go on
Yeah.
next to Header May and Snapback. This didn't work at all, I'm afraid. If you think about the people who do this kind of thing well, think about the charisma and ease and calmness that someone like Sabrina Carpenter, who makes music very similar, oozes when she's performing. This has none of it. The stage outfit is I really whoever dressed her is actually the person who I'm mainly frustrated at because I mean the two halves of it don't match to start with. Secondly, and then you have this cold sort of metal staging for a kind of bubblegummy pop song. None of this makes sense to me, and none of it comes together. Her voice wasn't that great, but I don't think that's really a particularly distinguishing thing here, particularly. Some people are comparing the bottom half of it to a diaper. I mean, this is one of those ones where I think you look at it afterwards and think that just didn't come together at all. Gotham, what do you think?
I think your comment about Sabrina Carpenter, that reference, I think was on point. I think that's what the rationale behind this song was trying to give whatever Sabrina does. This to me, and I think you're gonna laugh. I didn't see Sabrina Carpenter in this. This was very Gemini UK 2003, I think. That's what I got. Like the
Why
second
do I know
style.
exactly what you mean now you've said it? I
Yeah.
will. It kind of looks like a 2000s Eurovision performance. You know when they just kind of like threw the pop girlies on stage in like a badly matched sort of like scantily clad outfit. And they're like, okay, sing your song now,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's just not good. It's just not good. It fell so flat. And whoever styled her, because she's gorgeous, she's a beautiful woman. The stylist, the gay evil stylist, needs to be taken out in the back and shot in the head because it does look like a diaper. It does look like a diaper.
It's a bit of a mess overall.
Yeah.
I do wonder with some of these artists whether we'll get something better in a few years, where they'll come back having learned from this experience where a lot of things went wrong for a lot of them. I hope it's the kind of, learning failing where people then come back and things, work a bit better. Because to be honest, like, and I sort of had a look into her Instagram stuff. She actually seems like a sort of a character, a really nice person. So hopefully she comes back with something else that works better. We'll move on to Storm with Lullaby. Grackle of Welchmert, thank you so much for renewing the membership. Storm, I only found this out today, is 17.
What?
Yeah. So arrived here very early. Has apparently been doing a lot of tours in Norway and stuff, playing festivals. Let's have a listen. This is not really my kind of thing. I mean, I have a place in my heart for this sort of angsty, rocky kind of thing, but there's not. I don't know. It didn't click for me. I didn't think the vocal was necessarily awful, but yeah, not working for me at all. What do you think?
This was just Oli. This was all I saw and heard was Oli from Estonia, and if it doesn't work in Estonia, I don't see why it would work in Norway when we know the type of songs that Norway picks. I think for a 17-year-old, which is breaking news for me, think he did a good job performing this. He's a competent artist. It boils down to the song, however, and I have no place in my heart for the emo rock, sad eyeliner. We're gonna dye our hair with black Sharpie and yell at our mom. I don't get that. It's not for me. It's not for me.
That's the wrong kind of. You're the other genre of I almost said of
Yeah.
of emo, which is like extremely depressing music all the time, but like sad, pretty music about how sad you are. Thank you so much, Simon, by the way, who says storms don't last forever. Yeah, this one lasted 3 minutes and then promptly disappeared. Move on to Milo. The Norwegian public don't seem to gel with Milo all that well. He did badly in the televote this time. He didn't even make the final last time. Why do you think that is?
Good. I hate this. I don't know what's going on in terms of the psychosis within this community. I don't know what people see in this. This is awful. This is horrifying, horrid, abysmal. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I fear I will never get it. I am not shocked that the public didn't like this. I don't know what people see in this song. It's just no. He's a good performer, but this is not Dancing Stars.
They're cooking you in chat right now. Just so you know.
They crucified Jesus as well for speaking the truth. So
Somebody said, "Gottem, have you considered that you were right, but everything else was worse?"
yeah, maybe.
No, I actually thought this was one of the best choices to win the selection because it had a personality, it had a story, it had something about it when so much of this selection didn't. It was never my favorite thing, but yeah, it's just not. Once I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna win. But there we are. We move on to Silka, who came last, got 0 from the juries and very few from the public. Wow, that was like, I Janissed her, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, she really does only get 5 seconds. I mean, this one is a fairly simple diagnosis, I think. It was the vocal.
It was the vocal. It was also the evil gay stylist once again, because what the fuck is she wearing? I just have no words. This is such a bad national final.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Thanks so much, Andy Taddy, for the 50 Czech crowns. You know what? That skirt kind of looks like, those CGP grey, like revision textbooks.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those. Oh god. This is just one of those ones I don't understand really, like why it's here. If it feels like, talented singer, bad use of, like clearly a song that's not suited to her range. Come back with something that's a bit that fits a little better, and maybe then we'll get something different. But this was, as soon as I saw this performance, I was like, oh yeah, now I get why it came last. Yeah. Respectfully. Apparently, I've just casually unlocked some GCSE trauma for some people in chat. I had the same. Some other people are comparing it to the code of shame that cats and dogs get after they go to the vets.
Yeah, I see that as well.
It's unfortunate, certainly. That one will hopefully go in the cupboard. In the meantime, everyone take a deep breath. So, this was basically exactly what I expected it would be. We all know that Alexander Rybak can sing reasonably well live. We all know, that we are. Thank you, Chambricho. I really appreciate that. We are extremely well acquainted with him, but I just don't, oh my gosh, I'll come back to that in a moment. But again, it was like, this kind of feels like a shit. We've run out of people. Who do we have in our phone book that we can call up to throw an album track into the show so we have one extra song? And this was what they came up with. I mean, it's just not suited in the slightest to a national selection. And I didn't particularly enjoy the performance either. What do you think, Gottem?
Hate it. Shite is what he is. And this song as well. I'm so bloody tired of him. Like, send him back to Belarus immediately. Deport him. I am done with this guy. Everything he does, everything he has done ever since he won has been a crime against humanity. And this is yet another one. If we don't do something now, I don't know, I will do something and I'll be on the news. I cannot stand this song. I hate this awful performance. It's so naff is what it is. And he's a vampire because he doesn't age. So clearly there's something wrong there. So let's use that as a justification and get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, I just think what was bizarre to me is like he had dancers doing the same thing from 2009. And it's like, come on. Thank you so much for the extraordinary generosity of a €50 super chat. Says, I love slop. Thank you, Alexander Rybak, for this fresh sewage. The plate is still untouched. Yeah, I mean, this is just, I'm really relieved I was wrong about this because I was convinced he was going to win. I was feeling very cynical about this. I'm glad somebody showed up and delivered a decent performance to prevent that from happening. Because we'll get to Jonas Love in a minute. If Jonas Love hadn't showed up and sung the shit out of that song, this would have been going to Eurovision.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's move on to Emma, who...
Can I just say something?
Yes, of course.
This song by Alexander Rybak is somehow Republican coded. I cannot pinpoint how and why, but it's very MAGA coded in some way. Awful song, terrific song, not good at all.
No, I love... They say that we have the best Melody Grand Prix song of all time. Nobody's doing it like we are doing it. And it was robbed. The show was robbed. We got more points. They say we got the most points out of anyone ever in history. I'm going to move on. Let's go on to Emma. So, this for me, I actually found a little uncomfortable because Emma has only just turned 17 years old. And was so clearly not at the stage where this show was an appropriate step. And I have a lot of questions for the people around her and the people who still have, a say in various parts of her life because she is a child, that took this performance forward at this time. This expensive staging, the most expensive producers that Sweden can give you. But like you could tell vocally and everything that this was all just way too much. Like I watched it and I felt really quite bad for her actually, because I'm like, this person should not have been put through this at this age. And I said in my video before that I was worried this would do more harm than good for her at the stage of her development that she's at. And I think that may be the case. I mean, what do you think, Gottem?
Yeah, I can echo everything you just said right now. If we are purely focusing on the song, I don't like it. It's yet another soundtrack of the MAGA rally. I don't really like it. It's very generic, somehow juvenile as well, in my opinion. It's just not for me. I don't think it was ever gonna win, so I don't really know why they pushed her to do this. As you said, I think it can only do more harm than good.
If she was a generational like vocal talent, then this would have won this show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the song in this field, it was really a matter of who showed up. But yeah, I'm not going to dwell on it because, to be honest, I don't really feel comfortable like going over into the details about all the different ways in which it didn't quite go right. I want to quickly shout out a few super chats that came in while we're talking about that. Canabai, thank you so much for the 50 Norwegian kroner. It's very telling of the current state of MGP and Eurovision in Norway that 2 of the participants don't even speak Norwegian. I'm not actually sure which 2, but that is obviously not ideal. Gabe sounds like Cartman as Trump, says do 9437. Yeah, I get that. It kind of veers off a little. And finally, Asmodia, who says, none of you get Milo's toxic yaoi vision like I do. Jokes aside, I love hearing your differing opinions on things. You're so funny. Thanks for making Eurovision season special each year. Thank you. All of you guys make Eurovision season special for us as well. And we're very happy to spend it with all of you. And so is Cheese, who just let out a symphonic meow in the background. Let's move on to Leonardo Amor. So, what I just said about literally if you sing well in this selection, given the state of it, you'll do relatively well. He did quite well with the juries because his vocal was fine. But the song was, and remains just very boring. That's really all I have to say about it, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah, I just... What's up, buddy?
I don't care.
Oh, Cheese is sitting and he's staring at the food cupboard and then looking over at me and yelling, even though his dinner isn't even for another hour. Let's go on. Now, I remember seeing, and you'll have to apologize for my language, what was it? Hey, buddy. It was a tweet which is like, I'm the only bitch serving cunt in this place or something. That is very much how I feel about this song. Let's listen. Oops. Yeah, I mean, the song is repetitive, but fair play to him. His vocal was just so much better than everyone else's. It was really obvious. As soon as you saw this, like, well, you could have not told me who won this, and anyone would have told you that this was what was going to do it. It's clean sweep, 12 from every single juror. It's a song that's mostly vibes, in my opinion. But I kind of feel like it might qualify now, just because the vocal is so good and it is sonically quite different. And it's really not that hard to qualify this year because only 5 are not qualifying in each semi-final. Gordon, what do you think of the song, of its qualification chances, and so on?
The song, I don't think of it. Him, I think of him a lot. His vocal is really good. He absolutely nailed the performance, in my opinion. And when the entire selection is full of sewage water, we kind of have to choose on some merit. And if we're voting based on performance and vocals, then he was clearly the obvious choice. He is gorgeous, that man. So I'm glad at least the only eye candy in this national final one. At least we get to have a mustache mullet man in there, which big fan of that.
It's a
My
very
friend.
mustache mullet man is a very fashionable genre of man at present. It's not something I think I should try though. I don't think it would work for me at all. Can you
No,
imagine
no.
me with a mullet and a mustache?
Let's not think of that.
Yes, no. Thank you so much, Lily and Levi. By the way, Levi has tipped just to say I like Gotham's tie.
Thank you.
So there you go. You look handsome this evening, Gotham. Um,
There.
and Cheese agrees because he yelled as soon as I said that. Overall, I mean, I'm almost scared to ask. What was your overall impression of this selection, Gotham?
Burn it. Burn it immediately. This was horrendous. Horrendous. This was so bad. I don't I don't know how you managed. It's awful. It's awful. I don't think I've ever seen a national final this bad.
It was. I had the same thing where I did when I first heard the song straight away. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, I
Go
really.
internal.
I don't understand what they were doing. I mean, I heard some of the camp demos and stuff ahead of time. And to be honest, I thought there were better things than these songs in those demos. But like, I
I mean,
just.
Dance Cam GP was better
Yeah.
this year.
I mean, the Danes, maybe the Danes did some kind of voodoo where they lifted their curse, but they had to push it onto somewhere else. And
Yep.
Sweden was too powerful, so it ended up landing on Norway.
Yeah.
Like, it was, yeah, in my opinion, this is a candidate for the worst selection of the year. I actually think initially, but before this, there was a time when I would have thought it might ended up being Luxembourg, but after Shiro Kuro single-handedly saved that selection by having a really great live performance, this is worse than that. I just think it's seriously a problem now because this isn't the first year. We've all kind of been looking around at each other for the last few years and been like, guys, what's going on in Norway? It's
Yeah.
kept going downhill for a few years now. I think there are serious reviews that need to be sort of conducted as to how the song selection process, the artist sort of scouting and discovery process is going because it's not working right now. Hunter of Stars, thanks so much, says Montenegro is devouring everyone this year. Well, Montesong was a lot better than this.
Yeah.
It was a lot better
Easily.
than this. If you'd
Easily.
put one of the top songs in Montesong in this, it would have cleared everyone out. Cannabite says the two people who didn't speak Norwegian were Milo and Leonardo. I knew about Milo because he's from Australia, but he's got Norwegian lineage. But yeah, it is obviously, we should say, the boycott of Eurovision is definitely strongest in one of the strongest countries is in Norway. Lots of artists will not touch this show for that reason right now. That said, that's more of a this year problem than last 2 years problem because it's really picked up in strength this year. It's already been in trouble for a little while now. They got lucky that they had Kyle Alessandro last year. They would have been in trouble without him. Kieran and Jay Kriwat, thank you so much. Yeah, possibly the worst of the year. Maybe something else will surprise us, but I'm not sure it will. We're going to move on to the next selection because it's 9:06 and we still have like 10 more to talk about. I am going to choose the next one. Although before we go to it, I think we should talk about a proud nation, a nation that we have wished for its return to the Eurovision Song Contest for some time. And that is the proud nation of Bulgaria. Now, obviously, I have to start with the Bulgarian opinion on this. So, Gotham, kindly, what do you
It's
think?
not a proud nation. It's not a proud nation. I think I'm gonna talk about the selection first. This was the worst way our selection could have went. The format was doomed from the beginning. BNT took their sweet time to not come up with any feasible plan. Whoever is behind the decision making needs to go immediately. The format was doomed from the beginning. I think us picking Dara was not the most optimal choice. The way in which it was structured, the way in which Dara was forced to go and work with already a pre-selected group of producers was awful. And I'm gonna talk about the producer choice as well in a second. I I hope we scrap this next year if we're still here. The internal is the way we should do it, and it's really sad because the amount of hype the national final generated in Bulgaria was insane. Everybody was talking about the shows. Everybody was upset afterwards because obviously some connections, ties played into it. In terms of selecting the artist, Virginia Records, I think even the Eurovision community is aware of the monopoly and of that company in the Bulgarian music industry. Um, Last night's show, it was badly made. More so, I think it was already done for before we. I don't think there was a need for this show. Obviously, Dara wanted this to win. I think this was the only choice. I don't see why we had to do this whole procedure of having to listen to this god awful two songs, which are incredibly bland. And I suspect the producers they did them before Dara even arrived at the studio, so I don't think she was behind anything in terms of those two. Bangaranga is I don't know. I don't know. It's all right. There are elements of it which I like. I fear it's a little bit disjointed at the moment. It doesn't flow that easily. The lyrics are horrific. In terms of lyrics, this
I'm
is just
glad you
another
mentioned that.
declamation.
All my
Another
life,
declamation.
surrendered to the blinding lights. No one's going to sleep tonight. Welcome to the riot. And then the same thing again. I'm the bangaran, bangaranga, bangaranga, bangaranga. I'm the bangaran, bangaranga, bangaranga, bangaranga. I'm the bangaran, blinding lights. Welcome to the riot. I'm the bangaran. I'm the bangaran. I'm an angel. I'm a demon. I'm a psycho for no reason. That's such a stupid rhyme. I'm a mover, I'm a teaser. I don't follow, I'm the leader. Let me hype you up, let me hype you up. I'm a, let you get the hook. I'm a leave you shook. Again, bangaranga, ranga. There's so much banger. How many times is bangaranga repeated? Let me search. Bangaranga. 100. Okay, well, it's double. So it's like 50 times in this song. That's like one bangaranga every 3 seconds. I will say, when I listened to this, by the time I got to the end, I was like, was there any point at which we weren't in the chorus? Like,
Yeah.
it kind of felt like the entire
Excellent
song
remark.
was one long chorus. So I get to the end, I'm like, okay, you had one idea, or rather, whoever has foisted these songs upon Dara had one idea, and they've just done the idea for 3 minutes. At the same time, I have to say this: it's such a disaster pop that I kind of feel myself developing a small soft spot for it.
Me too. Me too. And that's concerning. And I'm gonna say something, and I know everybody's gonna disagree with me on this. Between this and Jala, I would rather listen to this.
That's I don't know how controversial that of a statement it will be
I
in
They're
chats.
the same thing in my head. Also, I have a suspicion that I think because the main guy behind this song was this Romanian producer, I forgot his name, Christian Torcea, I think. I think she landed there. She arrived at the studio, and they were just talking to each other. And he was like, "Well, I don't know much about Bulgaria. I know about." He lists two, three things, and then he says, "Oh, I also know about Baba Vanga." And they just snapped and was like, "Oh, we can use this
Bangaranga.
at some point in the chorus, in all 50 of the choruses, I think she says Baba Vanga. I'm convinced she says it.
She should sneak that in at least once. Just quickly,
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who's sending in super chats. Stevan sent in a super chat and said, "This is a bribe to talk about Serbia next." Bribe accepted. I was going to do that anyway. Kieran says that he thinks this will be 7th to 12th in the semi final and asks us if we agree. We'll answer your question in a moment. And then Rubes asks how I'm feeling about the UK song coming out tomorrow morning. I'm deliberately reserving judgment because there is such a wide set of potential outcomes that at the moment I'm just going to wait and see. I know that's a boring answer. I'm sorry. In terms of how well this is do, 7th to 12th feels about right in the semi-final. It could qualify, but it's not. It's never going to come like third in a semi, is it?
No, no, absolutely not. I don't believe in our team. If they came up with this, I don't think they have a lot in store in terms of staging. She's a good performer, but that's about it. And I'm gonna say it again. We should not have picked Dara. We should have not picked Dara.
By the way, God, I'm
And
enjoying how there's someone sat in the back just like sipping on a cup of tea in your shop.
leave my friend alone.
Everyone
Yeah.
says hello. In any case, it's just funny. I just saw her come in and be like, with her cup of tea.
She asked me if she can stay in the room while I'm on stream, and I said yes. So hopefully nobody minds.
Of course you can. With that, we'll move on to the next show, which is Serbia. And that's great because we get to talk about the best song ever. Moja Fräulein. You all laughed at me. You all laughed at me. You laughed at me when I said I enjoyed this. You laughed at me when I said it was fun. And then he shows up, delivers with a fucking great staging, and comes second with the public. Completely mogged Zaina. And everyone else, except for the winner. I loved it. I loved it. It was perfect. It was brilliant. It was genius. It was amazing. I've been listening to this. I've been watching this performance ever since I saw it in the semi-finals. I was really hoping. I had this little hope somewhere in my mind that it might win, but then the jury killed him. Thank you, Hunter of Stars. I really appreciate that. And yeah, it's just genius. It's excellent. I love it. No notes. 10 out of 10. 20 out of 10. 50 out of 10. What do you think, Gottem?
I love this.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were about to be like,
I'm
hate
from
it.
the Balkans. Come on, this is something. It did something that would play at a typical wedding, or something that my uncle, after he gets drunk at a family reunion, would start blasting on his fifth rakia. So this just hit too close to home, and I like it.
I did
It's
enjoy
fun.
how they dedicated like the whole performance basically to just a series of tropes about Balkan weddings.
Yeah, it's very that. It's not a stereotype. That's a fair representation of what they look like.
I just thought it was just fun. It didn't take itself too seriously. Obviously, it connected with people, but I remember looking at the comments immediately after the semi-final. The comments were full of Serbs being like, "Whoa, that was actually really good. Like, we weren't expecting this."
Yeah.
And he's so charismatic. Like, it's such a silly song that you have to have such a level of charisma to sell it. And so it's still my favorite. It's by far my favorite of this show. Wonderful, excellent, best song ever.
I echo your feelings. This was also my favorite.
Steven says, he's hot, I speak my truth. Let's move on to Loris with Unseen. This is very much that kind of like sad girl pop song. It's a very specific type where I feel like we've seen things like this before. She has a nice enough voice, but I don't know. This is one of those ones didn't really come to me at all. I sort of watched it and I was like, well, I mean, I didn't dislike it, but I don't have really anything to hook into it. What do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much forgot about this song as soon as it was over. There's just nothing too distinctive there's no identity. Anybody could have sung that song. It just fell flat for me. I have nothing else to say. It's just boring as hell.
Yeah, there's a few in this one which is like this for us. Just to warn you in advance, we will of course go through them all. But there's somewhere it might be like we're just, we can't write a thesis on everything, and there's some things where it's like, well, bleh, Speaking of which. After you.
No,
You're,
I
de-
don't like this at
you're
all.
declining. You're declining to analyze on this occasion.
There is nothing to analyze. There were obviously only. Was this the only other one together with Lavina? The only two rock adjacent songs. I mean, Lavina is metal. It's not even rock.
Mhm.
Uh, and they were just outmocked. They got mocked by Lavina,
They
basically.
did. They did.
Yeah,
This was just. It was. I will say. One positive. It was like amusingly camp. Like it was just.
it was camp.
It was.
Yeah,
It was camp. It was extra. So at least they had that. It made it entertaining. But other than that, not much to see it. Now,
yeah.
Girl Bop 1. I feel like I've heard this song many times before. Good voice, but we've like, how many times have you heard a song that sounds like this?
It's very Etapa Nacional Moldova back in the day,
Before the glow up.
before the glow up. Yeah.
We'll keep going. Two, Harem Girls and Ivana with their song Loco Loco. Can we agree it's just Loco Loco?
Yeah, yeah, it absolutely is. And this was never meant to happen. They were supposed to win last year and go with Aladdin, which was a good song and performance and should have won last year. Wasn't my favorite last year, but objectively should have won. Um, this is just a dire attempt for it to happen, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Take 2, 3 years, let people be excited about you coming back, and come up with something else that's, you know, sparks the same joy as Aladdin. The joy was just not present here.
I
It's
do think it
average.
was frustrating because it's the producer actually I blame because the producer has written about 5 different songs in the last 5 years for PZE and they've all sounded exactly like Loco Loco.
Yeah.
He did Loco Loco and he was like, what if I do Loco Loco again and again and again? It's frustrating because the Harem Girls have so much charisma. Can we have an honorable mention for Trampolina? Yes, we can. They did also lose a girlie, I think. I will say, I thought the staging was quite fun. Like the whole building thing, it's so. I really enjoy how like on the nose it is, and I especially enjoyed. Basically, the more on the nose it gets, the funnier it gets. My favorite bit was when one of them pulled out the tape measure and went like, as they pulled it
Yeah.
longer, and it's like I understood that reference.
I'm glad you had fun.
So
You know that meme? Oh, that's nice, honey. That's nice.
yeah,
That's it's very that.
I hear that quite a lot every now and then. When we're talking about, I'll talk about some shitty performance in some national finals. I'm like, oh, and it was this, and it was really funny. And then my fiance will sit there and she'll just go, okay, honey. Speaking of which, did you know that exactly 2 years to the day right now, I was sat about an hour and a half into my first date with Cynthia, who is
I remember when you guys met as well, and I remember us debriefing it before you guys went on a date, and it's crazy.
yeah. So, honey, if you're watching, I love you. It is
Love you,
actually
Cynthia.
quite fitting then that this week, this is something else I'm going to reveal about the upcoming video. One of the things we did, given that Lava Tansit was obviously a feature of UMK this year in the form of Comiat, we thought it might be nice to get a little more involved in that concept. So we had a tango dance lesson taught by professional dancer and one-time Dancing with the Stars Finland champion, Jutta Helenius. So that'll be in the video.
Peak.
Yeah. That was a good way to slide that little thing in. But yeah, no, it's actually, it's really sweet that sort of 2 years to the day afterwards, UMK has just happened. And it's like, wow, look how far we've come. And now we have cheese. Anyway, moving on. That's my cat for those of you who aren't away. This is indistinguishable from the other girl bops.
Yeah, it's the exact same song, except the outfit here is complete doo-doo, is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, what do you say about this? Again, how many times have you heard a girl bop with the dum, 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 dum?
Yeah.
I could write one right now. Our love is like fire. I have so much desire. Carry me in your dreams. We will fly to the stars. I've just made it into 10 national finals next year. Let's continue. So let me just say, congratulations, Gabe, you have won Germany. We will continue. All right, next up, Cosmos Trip. I love how they just kind of showed up, didn't bother with staging, and they were like, we're just going to go on and sing the song, have a nice time, and then leave again. I mean, they made to the final. So, good on them, I guess.
I don't know. It's very millennial. There's this like trend right now where people make fun of those millennial burger places. That this song is a millennial burger place. If it was a song, if you know what I mean. It's like we do things around. We do things differently around here, except it's nothing exciting.
It's
Just
fun. I
nothing
think it's
burger.
fun and silly. And also, I feel bad because Dande is in chat and is really sad that we've just been mean about this song. That O felt like it was full of hurt. And so now I feel
Yeah.
really guilty. What was I saying? Yeah, it is. Wait, this won its semi-final? No,
Did
I
it?
have to check that. This won its semi-final. Wait, national selections. Serbia. This beat Yugoslavia.
No way.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane. That's rough. That's really rough.
Danda says, my SIM cards went through. Also, I love how the third place in this semi qualified with a fat 0 from the public. We'll come to them.
Oh.
Let's keep going. Yeah, okay, we've had enough of that. Next. I mean, this was the favorite. I would think it's fair to say before the semi-finals. This was the one that got the most hype. But you know, if you're staging, if everyone looks at your staging and immediately goes helicopter, helicopter, you're in trouble. So
Yeah.
I just think it was a bit like a sort of people are saying catharticus. It was indeed. From now on, that is what this is always called. When they lift them up like this, it's just always catharticus.
It's so cheesy. It's just so cheesy. And I don't know. I think this song was doomed to fail from the very beginning. It sounds too much like Tattoo. It's about Yugoslavia. She is dressed in a trash bag and she's suspended from the ceiling Jerry Hale style. I don't know. I don't know. But I know for sure she's never coming back. Zaina is never coming back
You
to
think she's
PZ.
done?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is her like what third, fourth attempt. She's pissed. I genuinely think she was convinced she had it in the bag.
I genuinely think if she'd done less, she might have done. I think it's because she did so much. Everyone was like, "This is so over the top."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cheesy
I
like
feel
everyone's
sad for
favorite
her.
cat, says Revbo. Oh, that's really cute. Thank you. Also, Hunter of Stars, I saw your super chats before. Thank you so much. Oh, she said so too. She said she'd go somewhere else. AKA
San
San
Marino.
Marino.
Yeah.
God, no. San Marino is turning into a bit of a Kia asylum. We have to talk about this, well,
Yeah.
next week. Like,
Yeah, it is a
what
Kia
the
asylum.
fuck is Boy George doing there? Like, I mean, Boy George is kind of, well, he is disgraced anyway, ever since he got that conviction because he got into the habit of chaining young men to radiators. Like, Yeah, no, crazy backstory. Trigger warning if you're going to look it up, like it's a mess. Simon says that Yugoslavia was too Swedish for the Serbs, according to Serbian friends. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, like it's really strange how it's just become more and more people being like, fuck it, I guess I'll go to San Marino. Why do we have second and third place from Albania showing up there? Like, please. Come on. But yeah, just Google Boy George conviction and you'll see what I'm talking about. He's really not somebody who I would have wanted involved with this contest at all. And I really hope he doesn't win. And I really hope that doesn't go to Eurovision. Danda, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. €5. The last of my money I have left after going out drinking with IAA. Please do Lithuania. I will do Lithuania next, I promise you. By the way, Danda edited the last video on Friday, and how good was it? Danda did a great job, and I was really, really proud. Thank you so much, ESC Metrostan 07, who has retracted their message. Now, let's move on from that bizarre, as someone put it in chat, Yugoslavicus, to... Gottem, any thoughts?
No. I have none. There is no substance behind the song.
Yeah, this is kind of like completely random. I do not know why, how... It just kind of showed up in the final like, hello.
Yeah, I don't know how this qualified. I think
It got 7 from the
PZ
public.
What?
Yeah.
Who voted for this?
At least 7 people, I would suggest.
I think nobody watched PZE this year. It was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I am
half
curious
of
about
this
the viewing
national
figures.
final. This national final, just half of it felt like the auditions for Etapa Nacional for Moldova 3 years ago.
Yeah. There were some things I liked, just not much. Let's move on to Michael Ben Davidovich. This is one of those songs where it's like... It's like this kind of... Oh, look, we're going to make it sound ethnic, but like not an actual ethnicity.
Yeah.
Like just ethnic. We're going to make it go... Pew, 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 and we're just going to kind of not elaborate on that.
Yeah,
And then maybe
I
that
feel
will
the
be enough edge for winning something. But it's not. What do you think?
I agree with you. It sounds ethnic. Which ethnicity? We don't know. The generic one, the default choice. Um, he danced a lot, which is nice. I guess he had a fun time. I'm glad he managed to get his team. All of them did a bit of poppers and they went on stage and danced away. But it's not competitive. It's
You
not
know
a
how
good song.
you know how like on like census data and stuff, when they ask your ethnicity, you can tick other or prefer not to say.
Yeah, exactly. This is what other is.
This is like world music, but it's like the entire world.
Yeah.
He danced for Maya Nikolic in 2018. Is he the
Oh no.
do you remember Maya Nikolic last year talking about how what was it? I have gay friends and we have great sleepovers. Was this who she was talking about?
That woman is something else. I fear when I reach her age, I'm gonna be the exact same way,
Oh,
and
God.
that scares me. That thought.
No, that would be really funny. Actually, I'm gonna make sure we stay friends that long so I can like encourage it and make it worse.
Yeah, enabling.
We move on to the winner, and I will say, I'll hold my hands up and say I didn't expect this at all. But there are some things I do like about this. Let's listen quickly. So the last minute of this with the growls, I really like. It's actually quite to my taste. It's yet another Dracula kind of entry. We have so much Dracula vibes in Eurovision this year. Like Albania is Dracula. I think you could make a Montenegro Dracula argument. This is kind of Dracula. And I saw it and I was like, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I just wish we got some of that growling and stuff earlier on in the song. I just want more, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they need to tweak it a little bit just so they catch and manage to keep the viewers' attention. I listen, I'm not the biggest metal fan. That's not me being a hater. I don't always like metal. I like this. And I think this was the only choice Serbia had. And I'm really glad, more out there genres like this are getting rewarded. I would never assume or guess that Serbia would send a metal song. But I'm really glad we see it, and uh, we haven't heard a song like this in a long time. The last time we heard something similar was 2018 from Hungary, and that was what, almost, it's 8 years ago. So I welcome this. I like it.
Yeah, I did think of this like Nya, even though it's not a
Yeah.
perfect, like, it's not entirely analogous, and that actually makes it quite difficult to work out how this is going to do, because a lot of our predictions in Eurovision are based on past performance, right? Based on a
Yeah.
kind of aggregate judgment of what people's taste is. Um, but, so I'm going to actually ask the question. I'm going to start a poll of where will Serbia finish? And I've given you some options, so make sure you vote. In the meantime, Revbo has pointed out that the Dracula argument would have worked even better if Alexander Rybak had won, because he never ages.
Yes. Yeah. But that
Um,
would be sinister.
and Stivan says the consensus in Serbia is that we don't care how it does. We're extremely happy with this. I guess it's the exact opposite of Mila. I think that is something. It's refreshing that Serbians have an entry they actually like, because I don't think I've ever seen a country dislike its own entry more than with Mila last year. Like, I remember it won and everyone was kind of like, eh?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I was pissed off last year, and I'm not Serbian at all. When you have 4 or 5 good songs, like genuinely good songs, because PZE last year was really good, and then fucking Miller wins for God knows what reason, obviously you're gonna be pissed off.
It was bizarre. It truly
Yeah.
was bizarre. I remember it got like, what was it, 140 streams the day before the show or something. Like, nobody was listening to it. I'm watching the poll. I'm going to give you a little longer to answer. But consensus seems to have broadly been reached. I'm going to close it in 3, 2, 1, and I'm pressing the button. Ka-chow. So 500 of you voted, and the consensus is 11 to 20, both on Twitch, and on YouTube, with 48% and 60% of the vote, respectively. 21 to 25, 28%, and 26%, respectively. And then less than 10% of you on Twitch and 14% of you on YouTube think that this will not qualify. I think it will qualify. It's going to have its lane. There's not going to be anything else exactly like this.
Yeah.
And Serbia has an extremely good record when it comes to qualification. It's unusual for Serbia to fail to qualify, especially with the televote. So,
Yeah.
plus that semi-final is set up for the Balkans.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Serbia is easily qualifying. We shouldn't even talk about it.
Like Croatia, Montenegro, there's like 40 points in it for each of those countries on the because of the presence of the other two. Hi, Cheese. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this was the one that didn't get anything from the public in the semi or the finals. Those lights are way too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that is the most overstimulating thing I have seen all day. Why was there so many lights like that?
It reminds me of prayer. I don't know why, but it does. A lot. I don't know. I don't like this at all. It's a big ball of bullshit. Is what it is.
It's just so distressing when this is what's
Yeah.
going on the whole time. Like, imagine if I spent the whole stream doing this. It's just the thing is I then had no idea. I forgot all the rest of the song because I was like, the lights, and so that was the only thing I took away from it. So we move on to Zona with Chairi. And this, I actually quite liked. Let's listen. So, is it original? No, we've heard this before. But is it well executed? I would say yes. And not everything has to reinvent the wheel. This kind of thing is popular in the Balkans for a reason. I thought it was fine. What do you think?
Yeah, after Lavina, I think this was the second best one. It's been we've seen this before, but it's not too bad. It has some merit to it. Um, so yeah, it's I.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is that it's just not the. I think it's good it didn't win because we've had this before. Somebody says that she's angry Patty Gurdy, and I can kind of see it. I don't know how many of you remember Patty Gurdy from the German national selection in 2023. She had a hurdy-gurdy. That's why she's called Patty Gurdy. Her live vocal was terrible, but luckily this live vocal was much better. Someone says, it's funny to me how foreigners always like the turbo folk entries. I quite like turbo folk. And it's also, and it's subgenres. Like, for example, like sort of Polski disco kind of thing. Have you ever heard Balkanica by Piersi?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy it. It's
I like group folk, so
it has a big stomping beat. It goes ha 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 on like a trumpet, not a trumpet, a trombone, and for some reason it has it has a dubstep bridge, which is hilarious. So very much recommend. Anyway, the polls are now all like, I really love flashbanging like a random country with that, like throwing out some cultural reference from a decade ago that makes everyone go, huh? And then just moving on with no further context, which is what I'll be doing. So we will move on to, now, got him. When I heard the studio version of this, I said, this sounds like if we like fed you a diet of 30 cigarettes a day for the next 40 years and then got you to sing a song in the Baby Gottem voice. The live performance was slightly better, but not by much.
Oh, I remember this now.
It's the one with the in the pre-chorus that is the worst sound ever.
Oh, it was so bad. I can see your comment about the baby glottal voice and the cigarettes. Oh,
What did you think?
That was a choice. Personally, I wouldn't humiliate myself in that way. I do it in another, but that's just a humiliation ritual to go sing in that way with that technique, or more like the lack thereof.
Yeah, I mean, this, I didn't enjoy it at all. But there we are. And that is the last song. So, overall, what did you think of the standard of this show? I think I know the answer.
Such a downgrade compared to last year. I still listen to Tam from last year. That was my winner. Harem Girls, I occasionally remember and look back to. I forgot the name of the blonde girl. Compared to last year, there was so much. This year, there was nothing. The only okay songs were okay. Lavina was good. I'm not gonna trash on them because it's a good song and a good performance. And what was the name of the mad Pathy Girthy Zona? Those were the only.
Patty Gurdy, not Patty Girthy.
Same thing. Depends on the context. But yeah, so just a downgrade.
Yeah.
Just a downgrade.
I mean, we'll say, when we look at this lineup, and then I'll quickly find it, if we then go back to last year's final, which is a very controversial event, of course. I look at some of these, oh God, the disaster that was Mimi Mercedes, what I would do to relive that. So bad. I loved it. It was my favorite because it was horrible. Obviously, you have Tam, Vokela, you had Harem Girls. There was some, looking back, some good contenders. And of course, you had the one and only Maya Nikolic.
Ugh.
Yeah, God, it felt like a downgrade, and last year already was a downgrade. So we're a long way from, I mean, that top three of Constractor, Sario, and Zoria that we had in 2022, one of the best top threes, in my opinion, of like all time of a national
Oh
selection.
yeah.
We're a
Oh
really,
yeah, yeah.
really long way from that now. That was, it feels like a totally different show, I'm afraid.
Well, yeah. You could have made the argument for PZ being the best national final of the year editions ago. Not anymore. This year was just such a big downgrade, and I'm glad you mentioned Maya Nikolic once again, because I went back to her performance from last year. It was like a TikTok that popped up on my For You page. She does this thing before the second chorus of the song, which she sounds insane. If you can find it and play it right now, and I found the exact pick, and I was cracking up myself for 3 hours afterwards.
Let's have a look. So in Jali Serce Moje, we're at 616,000 views. Serbs really come back to this. So it was in the second verse, right?
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm close. Because I don't want, if I play the song, I'll get, for more than 5 seconds, the whole
It's
thing will go.
exactly before it. It's like 5 seconds before the second chorus drops. Yeah.
So just,
No. No, fast forward.
are we in the right place?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
No, the next one. I'm so sorry.
The
I'm so
next
sorry.
chorus,
The next chorus, yes.
is it perhaps the most replayed bit here? Oh God, she nearly
Do it
fell
again.
over!
Yeah, but go back and listen to the vocal.
Okay.
No, before that. Before that. Yeah. It's literally this. It's literally the mosquito with the violin next to the ear. That's the vocal.
Oh.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And then when
Gosh.
she was accusing someone, I think it was Alicia Michelle, of being the director of Eurovision.
Yes, Alicia Michelle, who she referred to as Mitchell McCain, the trans director of Eurovision.
Yeah. That's
Now-
gonna be me in 50 years.
What, the trans director of Eurovision?
No, Maya Nicholas.
Why not both?
Exactly. Well, I'll think about it.
Let's move on to Lithuania. I know Dando will be very happy about this. A good show, in my opinion. Let's get right into it, as we've got plenty more to do. Rugile was first, and I will play the song. Maybe you can explain this, Gottem. I'm not getting this.
I get it. I liked it. I cannot explain it to you, but I really like it. I like the staging. I like the concept. There is this ethnic thing, but it's not like the Michael Ben Davidovich. This I can pinpoint as to which ethnicity this is. It just feels Lithuanian.
Mm-hmm.
It is exactly Lithuanian. It's obviously Baltic. When you look at it, I don't start to wonder where from Eastern Europe it is. I like it a lot. I think it was catchy. I it was not my winner. Uh, but it's enjoyable. I would probably play it again in if I remember about its existence. But yeah,
It is camp again,
Yeah,
which I'll
very.
give some bonus points. Someone says this is about a famous Lithuanian female poet, but the song is Turbo Ass. Turbo Ass is a really specific way of describing a song. And yes, I agree with your assessment. Thank you very much for the $2. I agree with your assessment of this show. Turbo Ass. How do you make a song Turbo Ass? Is that like when it's bad, but you kind of find yourself being like, anyway? You know those songs where you hear the worst beat ever and you're like, I'm enjoying it. It's objectively horrible, but I'm enjoying it.
Turbojurka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
exactly.
is Turbo Ass.
Oh, gosh. Awful. Let's move on. Walls of Water. What is that thing they have on the back there? Like, oh, it's a chain in the hand, right? I was like, is it like a worm or spaghetti or something? Thank you very much, Porcelain Girl. By the way, I appreciate that. This, um, no one knows how this qualified, says Dander. Um, enunciation is
Very
my
important.
is my opinion, as in there was not. That was all I could think
Yeah.
about. Was it sounded like a Belarusian audition because it was like, I say to you hello.
Yeah. Very that. I don't know. It's really not for me. It's very it's slop is what it is. I
Yeah,
don't know how this qualified.
yeah, no. But then again, this happens. There's a few controversies in this one, so we'll get to them. On to straight into the winner, which is Leon Seca with Solo Quiero Mas. What a nice surprise for me, actually, because, I didn't expect this to win. I actually thought, despite the controversy, at which we'll get on to, Atakin would still take it. I find this fascinating, this whole performance, and I thank you so much for the donation. I'm sure it was really fun. Um, I find this like so compelling. I find Leon as a character, Lion or Leon. Someone tell me in chat, preferably Dander, because otherwise I'm going to get one guide. Um, it's fascinating. The opening shots, in fact, the whole opening sequence of this is breathtaking.
Yeah.
And I think it's so specific. I find it really difficult to define, which is it's lion like the animal. Okay, lion seeker. I'm not going to predict that Lithuania can win, so I won't be appearing on the Lithuanian morning TV show again. But I do think this could do very well. I think people will look at it and go, "It's fun, it's different, but it's poppy on some way. It's got some accessibility to it. It's just so unique, you know." I'm so intrigued. Like I want to know more. I get to the end and I have more questions than when I started, but in a good way. What do you think?
I love this. I love this. It wasn't my winner going into the national final. After we were done, this was just the clear winner in my books. As you said, I'm so intrigued because the lyrics don't they don't tell us much about. There's clearly a backstory behind this. There has to be. It's too artistic. It's too complex for it just to not have any meaning. The lyrics don't reveal much. I really want to go for drinks with him and for him to stand there interrogation style and explain everything about this song. I think the staging was brilliant. Um, I think the song is compelling. It's so interesting. It's
Mm.
so unique. I don't think we've had anything like this before. It's it's incredible. I
Yeah.
really, really, really like this, and I don't understand why people are not getting behind this
I
because this is just incredible.
I do think yeah, no, I agree. It feels like it needs a manifesto almost. Like there is something being told here and it leaves so much to the imagination, probably by design. And just seeing a lot of people in chat saying the same. So Revbo, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Lion Seeker. Lion Seeker is such a fascinating artist to me, and this song winning made my Super Saturday my current number 2. So some people do like it. Danielius says, "Can Lion Seeker be Lithuania's Bambi Thug? We really need to break into the top 10. This could do it for us." The vocal is really excellent in a way that could get it some jury love. The question is about the balance between, because it will alienate some people, it will fascinate
Yeah.
some people. Where does that
Do you know
leave
what?
where does that leave its potential? What do you think, Gotham?
I can draw a parallel somehow. I'm drawing a lot of things tonight. But I can see a comparison that can be made between this and Constructor somehow. It's really conceptual, really artistic, alienated just the entire community going into Eurovision. And when we reach that point, it became a fan favorite. And even though it was complex and artistic, and probably a lot of people didn't get the meaning of it, it was so curious. It just sparked the curiosity in people enough for them to give it 200 points.
I mean, I would love if it got 200 on either side, just because also I really want to see Lithuania get a big result that like kind of gives them the
Yeah.
like encouragement and the push to go and win this thing, because I do think it's coming. They're doing a lot of the right things. We see a lot of good stuff in
Yeah.
the national final, even though it's kind of chaotic. Like I totally like am at peace with Lithuania's chaos because it works. The process
Yeah.
really works. The show is really popular. Um, and I didn't actually know the top three of the final were all from one heat, so thank you for telling me that. We'll touch on that in a bit. Also, and someone pointed out, the Lion has said a revamp is on the cards, and the potential is high, in my opinion, really high. You
Yeah.
do the right things to this, all of a sudden you could have a kind of, something that takes your breath away. I would love to say that it's going to break Lithuania into the top 10 at last, but the variance is just so big. It's such a difficult song to predict where it's going to end up that I kind of want some more time to sit with it. And,
Yeah.
once we have a few more songs, I think I'll feel more confident. At the same time, that doesn't mean that all of you can't make that prediction. So there will be a poll with the same four options as before. Where will Lithuania end up? And we're going to, again, go 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 25, and NQ. If any of you say NQ, like, come on. Now some of you are going to say it just to annoy me. But there we go. Poll is up. I miss doing polls. Polls are an essential part of this
Of life.
stream
Of life.
and of life, indeed. We will move on shortly to the next song, but we are just going to give you all the chance to have your opinions. If a mod could set the poll up on Twitch, it looks like Danda is on it. I'll leave that with you. We'll let that poll run for a minute until it's finished on Twitch. In the meantime, we should go to an extremely controversial entry. There was all kinds of allegations flying around after the heat where a lot of votes were disqualified because the broadcaster detected an attempt to manipulate them. And there is suspicion that that was Nora Blue. Her producer was on Instagram trashing all the other artists. And what I will say is that I'm going to be honest. I've never claimed to be impartial anyway, but I came into this show rooting against her because of everything that had been going on. I am really, really glad that she didn't win. I'm really sad how high she finished. I just think this kind of behavior is not appropriate or fair or becoming of anyone, let alone a professional in this setting. We will have a quick listen. And all that for the most basically staged pop song ever. Why? Why did you bother? And I'm glad that you wasted all of that money trying to buy those votes and failing. What do you think, Gottem?
Yeah, the studio cut is all right. The whole Valeria Pasha business, obviously disgraceful. Um, I don't know. I don't. Even if she didn't buy votes, if even there wasn't that controversy up in the air, this is just not competitive. Not even in a national final setting, in my opinion. It's all right. It's fine, but you cannot compare this and Lion Seeker at all.
It is, yeah, for sure. By the way, did an emergency vehicle just drive past your house?
Yeah, they're on their way. I have another 5 minutes probably, so
Okay,
I
gotcha.
might have to run.
We'll keep pushing through. Oh, she has beef with Lithuania's biggest fan site. When she saw them in the press center, she went, "Oh, it's you." Walked away and then blocked them. Some people are outrageous. Like, what right? What right do you think you have? Okay, I would have been ambivalent on this song. I would have been like, it's a decent pop song, reasonably well performed. I would have been, but like it completely turns me against it. I hope she never comes back. I really think broadcasters should have blacklists, and if artists behave in this way and bully people and and try to manipulate the competition and all of this stuff, just fuck off. Like, don't come back. Let's move on to Noi. I have very little to say about this.
I don't know. The most interesting thing about this song is the fact that he is a friend of mine, and he
Really?
studies music in Berlin. Yeah, with one of my friends. So they're classmates in university. But that's about it.
It's a bit boring, Oh
Yeah.
well. We move
I mean, I
on.
feel bad for him because he got double blanked by both the
Oh,
jury and the syllables. Because
some
he has a nice voice, but the song is just.
someone has to. Okay,
Yeah.
now, this was the big story, other than the winner. The jury destroyed this. Without meaning to sound conspiratorial, I think they may have done it on purpose. Gottem, from your perspective, what is your take on this whole drama as somebody who is Ukrainian?
I don't know what the drama is.
So, oh gosh, how am I even going to explain this? Basically, before 2022, he was active and had a career in Russia. He did a lot of stuff in Russian. Then after 2022, and then this came back, and the song is kind of like an anti-war song, but it was perceived in a way that by some people that it was what's the word? Like it was kind of advocating surrender more than anything else.
No way.
Yeah. And it was the lyrics seemed Russian apologist essentially. Then it's probably not. You can't really answer the question without having all the information. But yeah, basically, this was a big scandal in Lithuania. People booed in the room. Jurors, as Aya has said, openly admitted that they voted this down on purpose to stop it from winning. Because when it first came out, it looked like the one that was going to win. I think it probably reflects more than anything else the fact that, and I can say from experience, there's a big sensitivity to this stuff. Obviously in Ukraine first and foremost, but in the Baltic states is probably just, it's like Ukraine would be obviously the most sensitive. It's the Baltic states just below. For context, so for example, some of the lyrics, this is a translation I'll read to you. Every war sooner or later ends at the negotiation table. Everyone is watching on their screens while millions are dying. When will all of this end? I'd want for us to hug and live in peace.
Yeah, piss off. Piss off.
That was how Lithuanians reacted as well, I think.
Having a career and being established in Russia and wanting to continue, including those teams in your music and going to Lithuania is a brave choice.
Yeah, he did, in his defense, after 2022, he changed his name and then did a whole bunch of fundraising stuff for Ukraine. So he clearly recognized at some point, he was like,
yeah, but clearly the public nor the juries wanted him to be the winner.
And I mean,
and I don't blame the juries because his name is going to be next to Lithuania at the international stage. And what kind of a message does that send?
Yeah, and as Danda said, he refused to ever clarify the lyrics. He didn't change anything even after this became a thing. People are very sensitive to this, I mean, I've experienced this in Estonia a lot. And obviously people have a very specific view of Russia and things related to Russia now. And Lithuania feels obviously exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the story of this song ultimately became. And it didn't start like that when it first came out. I kind of thought it was going to win. I do like this on a sonic level, absent of any context. The folk vocals were very beautiful. The rapping was very good. Um, but yeah, the subject matter, I think maybe it clashes a little bit with the lived experience, lived Lithuanian experience. I think a lot of people then um, uh, sort of then it ended up how it did. You've heard the song. What did you think of it?
Sonically, I share your opinion. I think it was good. Out of context, it's great, but you cannot separate a song from its context. And I don't even if it won, I don't know how it would have went down because it's clearly so political. Mentioning the negotiating table literally in the lyrics, that's too much. And when you have that context of the artist attached to the song as well, it just becomes too much. And I guess like from Western Europe wouldn't know why the juries did that and why people would be mad about that. But the Eastern Europeans will get why they did that and why a person like me or the Lithuanians in chat right now would be heavily against this song.
Um, IABITV presents. Thank you for subtitling that Lithuanian TV experience. I am reading chat. Yeah, I think it may have been a smart thing for him to sort of go, okay, I'll adjust the lyrics slightly to, recognize this, and then maybe it would have calmed down. I think being intransigent in that situation doesn't help. In his view, it had no political context, but I mean, every war ends at the negotiating table. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, that's just not it. Huh?
yeah.
Just admit it. At some point, you gotta just sit and admit it. You cannot deny about stuff like that. It's literally in the lyrics.
Yeah, and it's like this is a subject, by the way, that has been addressed at length in many different songs across many different national selections over the last few years. But there we go. Yeah, if he just maybe been a little more forthcoming about it, about what he felt the meaning of the lyrics were, I would love to give you like his version of it. Like to say, oh no, this is what he says he meant. But I've not seen an explanation. And as far as I can tell, he hasn't given an explanation that allows me to do that. So we're left kind of guessing it. And I'm not political. There's not an explanation. You wrote the song.
Yeah.
It has some meaning behind it, presumably because the words you used. It's not like you wrote, "You're a liar, liar. I'm on fire, fire." We'll come to that. Let's move on to Shower Contact. These guys are like big in Lithuania, I guess, because they always seem to come. They're the nearly men of this selection a couple of times now. I preferred their previous song, that I find it possible. That one. What did you think of this?
Such a loud ass song, this one.
It is loud.
It's so loud. I don't know. I don't particularly remember all of it. Um, this next to Lion Seeker looks like a fucking play in high school. You know, I think I'm just so dead set on Lion Seeker that
You're
in
like, I
comparison,
hate
I'm
everyone else.
yeah, yeah. I love that song.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I liked his voice last time. I like it still this time.
Yeah.
I think this is a song that maybe doesn't quite. I don't know. It's not clicking with me the same way the last one does. Someone asks, is Gottem Belarusian or Bulgarian? Someone tell me. He's Bulgarian. Bulgarian,
Belarus.
Ukrainian.
I get Belarusian a lot. I still don't know why.
Maybe it's the sadness in your eyes.
Oh, we all have that in Eastern Europe.
that's
It's not
true.
just Belarus.
That's true. But no, so honestly, I quite like these guys. I think I would like them to keep trying because I feel like there's something in here which could be really, like, if all the pieces click together, you could see something really amazing. I still don't think, but I'm still looking at it right now. I'm like, the sound is right. The song is not there yet. Yeah. This isn't the one for Eurovision. So hopefully, they will come back again. We're going to speed up along and that so we can still have time for Germany. By the way, Italy is enormous. There is simply not time for me to catch up on Italy in the amount of hours since UMK. So Italy will do next week or the week after when we have more time. Next up, Vilnius Voices. You know, I listened to this earlier and I was like, wait, hang on. I really like this.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's so smooth and buttery and warm. And like, they didn't try to do too much. They just focused on delivering the vocal really, really nicely. And you know what? I'm really glad this made it to this final. I enjoyed it a lot. What do you think?
This was my second place. I really like this. It's so out there. It's so unique. It's nothing like. It's just, again, as I said, out there. I cannot draw a comparison between this and anything else from this selection. It was robbed, in my opinion. I really liked it. I guess it's just not competitive, but I would genuinely listen to this again.
Yeah. It was just nice. And sometimes that's fine.
Yeah.
We're going to keep surging forward to one that I personally didn't get. I will say that in general, like, this is not the kind of thing that like clicks with me. I just don't get it, you know.
Yeah.
But I did see a lot of people quite enjoy it. I can see people in chat being like, "Love this." What do you think?
I got a little zero last time. This time I don't get it. It's too much happening at the same time. Everything everywhere all at the same time. Uh, it's too camp. People say you can never go to camp. I think this is the only occurrence in which they went to camp. Um, I don't know. The last time we saw this artist at Lithuania's national final, I really liked it. This time I'm just confused, and I just don't know. I'm weirded the fuck out a little bit.
I just was confused by it. I didn't
Yeah.
get it. Somebody is making a serious accusation in chat that I'm not going to allow myself to be one guide about Lolita Zero. But yeah, it's just not for me. But some people seem to. Someone says this is turbo ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Turbo Us is, as we established, Turbo Żurka, and the other one. This is, I don't know what this is. It's something, definitely it is.
For sure. Let's go on. Love the bob, firstly. Love the bob.
Points for the Bob.
Love how she's just on there, just with like this beat behind her being just sort of throwing out ad libs.
Yeah.
And you know what? That kind of made it iconic. Like, it's a song. It's a song, and it goes, and that's like, just, yeah, fun. It's just really
So
generic.
It's such a loud ass song once again. The Bob is the only redeeming factor in this, in my opinion.
Do you reckon that's why the ad libs are so good? Because the bob is like giving her power.
Yeah, the signals from space, she's receiving them.
I think we're going to share an opinion on the last one here.
Brain rot is a disease, and it's starting to look real.
This was shit from a butt.
This was abysmal. This was so bad.
Like, I'm sorry, this wasn't even the worst song this weekend, by the way. We'll get to the worst song this weekend, which I think was in Sweden, actually, which we'll touch on at the end. This is just so bad.
This is a war crime.
Yeah.
It should be.
Like,
I think if you blast this loud enough, it could be considered a war crime.
Nero says, I'm sending this dish back to the kitchen. Basically, everyone says, never let bro cook ever again.
Yeah, this was. What place did he get?
Black Biceps Seem to remember it did all right with the public. Let me have a look. Da-da-da-da-da. Get up the trusty Eurovision world. Where would we be without Eurovision world? I'd be lost. Right. Final. This came fourth.
Oh, shut up.
This came ahead of Vilnius Voices.
What the fuck is happening in Lithuania? Everybody has lost their damn mind.
Let's move
Who
on.
voted? Okay.
I can't. I don't want to talk anymore about Black Biceps. It's upsetting me too much. So we're going to talk about one more show tonight, and then we're going to talk about one more final, and then one heat. So we're going to be talking about the German national selection. Oh god, we're getting double. There we are. This is gonna get ranty. I guess we'll just dive straight into it. This selection, 3 hours long for 9 songs. That's a crime. Yeah. And as for the winner, we'll get to it. Let's talk about Belat first. This, thank you, the best maybe. I appreciate that very much, those bits. I will read the lyrics, don't worry, when we get there. This is super German in terms of like what you'd hear on the radio in Germany. So it's one of the ones that I'm like, yeah, this should be in this show. But in the same way, there are songs in Melfest that shouldn't win, but should be in Melfest because it's what you hear on the radio in Sweden. It's not competitive, but it's fine, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just an average radio song. I don't know, nothing. I don't think anything of this. It's again fine. We got so much of fine this yesterday, not even this weekend, just yesterday. This is another one of them. There is nothing distinct for me. It's a pop song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
This, which I heard in the intro, apparently like came from a weekend trip to Toulouse. They all went on together. This is the one that ended up, this was on the New Music Friday playlist, specifically everywhere in East Asia.
What?
Yeah, like if you have Spotify and you live in the Philippines, they were desperately trying to serve you up this song for some reason.
That's...
Yeah, I don't know either. Let's listen. Again, this is another one of these songs where I didn't really find this to be competitive.
No.
If anything, I thought it was a little... I found it a little dull. The harmonies were cute. I like them. They seem nice. They're quite sympathetic characters within this like sort of little picture they're drawing us. I just think it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Me
What do you
too.
think?
The only part of this that it stood out to me and I liked was the fact that it was very lesbian coded. It was so lesbian coded. Other than that, I prefer it compared to the first one, but that's just personal opinion. But again, it's nothing too interesting. It's bland and easily forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
But they're nice.
Yeah. Danda says, love women. And everyone else in the chat is basically now just like, lesbians! Woo!
Told you.
Simon says, if Boy Genius were German and also not as good. Ouch. Yes, this is the second week in a row where we've had a moment on the stream where we've been like, let's hear it for lesbians.
Yeah.
Nice job. Right. We will. Oh, the poll. I'd never entered the poll for Lithuania. Yeah, it was 55% to say 11 to 20. Thank you for reminding me. And then top 10, 20%. Below 21st, but in the final, 15%. NQ, 12%. Egg, thank you very much. Anything on France, Armenia, Azerbaijan, or Czechia? No, nothing yet. We have no news. Not at all. Someone says that I'm their favorite lesbian. Thanks, I guess. Let's move on to the next song. Should I go to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just yeah. As oh wow, now I kind of want to go back. So firstly, AOK is just it's like I've thought of one line. The one line will now be a song. Now we have
Yep.
this. Uh, I mean, what really stood out to me is that Marty Fisher, in the comments under this video, his fans are saying, Marty, we don't like this.
Could you imagine? Yeah, and I get it. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's like an espresso macchiato knockoff. The whole, like, oh, we've got this Italian phrase in a silly song.
Yeah.
Is it better than Let Me Cook? Yes.
Oh, come on, the bar is in hell.
Yeah, the bar really is in hell. This just, I have no idea what they were trying to do here. And Marty Fisher has done some really interesting stuff in the past. And yeah, and then we get this. I don't understand it. And it's a shame because he's cool. Like, I want to be his friend. I watched some of his videos and I'm like, this guy is really cool. But this song just wasn't it. It really wasn't it.
No.
And I think have another go, but do something radically different because we know you're capable of it. Yeah, this is not. It's not.
No.
At least it didn't make the super final, which I was worried it did. Speaking of songs that were not, so apparently she's famous, like she's a TikToker or something. Which made sense because this song was clearly written for TikTok, but also the performance.
Yeah.
No, not good. Not good. No staging. Vocal didn't work. This, no, nothing.
Incredibly. Yeah.
And yeah, that was just a shame, really. Again, it's like, well, what was the point?
Yeah, who is the target audience for this? I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Who would listen to this in their free time? No one.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of this selection that was like this. That said, we were talking about lesbians. Time for the most lesbian song in the selection because it's literally a song written by a woman to another woman. Okay, so this has got an absolutely zero love from Eurofans. And it's got like a terrible score on Eurovision World. But to be honest, I think this is a better written, better produced, and better performed song than almost everything else in this selection, even if it's not right for Eurovision.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. It's cute, it's well made. You know, it's nothing too grand, nothing too special, which you gotta need that to be in contention for the victory. But it's nice and it's pleasant, and I wouldn't mind if it, pops up on shuffle one day.
Yeah. It's the kind of song you'd want it on like the playlist at like a cafe
Yeah,
or something.
very.
It's exactly the right vibe, creates the right mood. There is actually in Croydon in London somewhere, there is a lesbian cafe. It's called the Crushed Bean, if the memory serves correctly.
Oh,
And yeah, they should stick this on the playlist there. That's what I think they should do.
of course.
But yeah, she was one of the few people who actually delivered. So well done, Malu, for being, to be honest, one of the best in this selection. Moving on to someone from Liechtenstein. So this was the big fan favorite, I would say, within the Eurovision world. It's very nostalgic kind of pop rock, like this kind of 2000s thing. I don't know if that's really your vibe. What do you think of this?
I cannot believe we got one out of the 4 people living in Liechtenstein and from Liechtenstein to perform in this show. Other than that, I get it. I would have picked this over the winner.
Me too.
You know, it's
Definitely.
this wouldn't be in my top 10, don't get me wrong. But it's better than the blonde winner we got. And they're beautiful. Like they if this doesn't work out for them, modeling, that's
Yeah,
the way
career
to go.
modeling. Yeah, like look,
Yeah, the
that
face
is.
card is insane.
And also, I actually think the sort of smoky eyeshadow kind of thing really works for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like this could
They
be a
look
shot from like a
amazing.
music video in the 80s.
Yeah, it it, it works. It works so well, the styling.
So face card did not decline. That
No,
said, they will not proceed forwards because instead
so
this did. Let's just give me a moment. I'm going to just go in here. Germany, Sarah Angles, fire. I'm on fire, fire. You're a liar, liar. Stop denying, lying. No lying, lying, no more. It's just the least imaginative rhyming scheme in the world. It's a totally generic song as well. I tweeted saying this is going to come like 23rd. And somebody
I
quote
saw
tweeted it in Spanish and was like, he hates women.
I know how you feel about this song.
I just think it really frustrated me because as soon as I saw Sarah Angle's name in this show, I was like, well, it's over. Like, there's no point even running the show. So it made me very cynical about the whole thing because it was super obvious. You have Sarah Angles with all of these people that haven't got a fan base. It's a coronation. She could have sent anything and won the show. That annoyed me. Someone says Germany trying to beat Cyprus. It's just we've had so many songs like this. I'm so tired of hearing it over and over again. Um,
Yeah.
I have a problem with the staging because if you look at it, she doesn't actually move that much. The movement all happens around her. Even the dance break, she doesn't do that much movement. Yeah, I just think this is Sarah Angles is trying to do a career reboot. This is not what she usually does. She's known more for like Schlager kind of thing. And they've sort of gone into the studio, gone, let's make a song for Eurovision. And this is what they come up with. We see
Yeah.
loads of singers from all countries, of all genders, of all backgrounds making songs like this every year. Most of them don't go to Eurovision. This one will. It's going to do badly. And then Germany afterwards is going to go, but it was so suited for Eurovision. And then we will
I can
repeat this
feel
cycle. We'll learn no lessons. And we're going to have the same conversation next year about how come Germany is so bad at Eurovision.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know when they took a year. When they took a risk last year, it clearly paid off. I don't know why they decided to go this safe because this is so boring. Like this is so boring, and of course I'm gonna say that because I notoriously hate girl bobs, and that does not make me misogynistic or you in any way, shape, or form. People need to snap out of it. This is uninspiring. The rhyming is a mess. It's after Belgium. This is the worst girl bob song we
Yeah.
have so far. Bangaranga being the best one,
Yeah. I'm not sure
obviously.
I'd call Belgium a girl pop, but there we go. We can talk about that another time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disaster. I think it's going to come bottom five at Eurovision. Like, people
Oh
don't
yeah.
vote for this
Absolutely.
anymore.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're
You
so
know,
right. This is like
and
23rd.
it's like, just do something new. In any case,
Yeah.
Hauptsache, Alessio geht's gut. Let's move on to a song that I did not expect to become my favorite of this selection, but it's definitely my favorite of the selection. I'm a bit sad that this recap doesn't show the visuals on the back, which with the sort of some of the people from the music video. This is a song, you know, shining a light on. It's about chronic illness, about living with chronic illness. Once I learned that and I watched the music video, all of a sudden I found myself getting really emotional over this. And a lot of the themes it touches on are things that have without going into too much details because they're not necessarily my stories to tell, have had certain chimed with experiences that I've seen the people who I love very much around me have over the last year. In fact, almost exactly a year ago. So for that reason, I then got really emotionally involved with this. I wanted her to win. I completely accepted she was never going to win. I thought she'd get into the super final because it was the best ballad, and I always thought with 100% jury they'll put a ballad in the super final. That was my logic, and I was right about that. I knew it wasn't going to win. Third was always its ceiling. She did the best she could have done. What did you think of this?
Yeah, I think it's nice. It's very pleasant. It's really pretty. It's a good ballad. I didn't know the context, so I didn't feel that much of a connection. But compared to everything else we had in Germany, this is one of the good songs we had last night. Um, so yeah, I think third is an absolutely decent result for this.
Yeah. And with that, we come to the end of Germany. Now, it is approaching 10:30 UK time, so we do need to finish off. But before we go, there is something that needs to be addressed, and that's the Melfest heat. We're going to go through it quickly, but we're going to first talk about the elephants in the room. Alexa. I am so heartbroken. I was so optimistic, so excited when she was announced, but this didn't work on stage.
No,
I was so sad. I saw it. I was so excited to watch it, and then I saw the performance, and I was like, oh.
and the song is bad. The song is bad, in my opinion. I wouldn't listen to the song in any other context. The staging was messy. Um, I don't know. It's so not for me. This is the exact opposite of what I like. I'm not
Usually,
sad.
usually this kind of thing is quite up my street. I really like. I don't listen to K-pop, but I like seeing it performed like really well. Like a sort of S tier K-pop performance is amazing, just a thing to behold. I thought that's what we might get from her. I didn't see that. Someone says, I'd take this over Cherry Cake. They are stylistically similar, but there's no world in which this was better than Cherry Cake based on those two live performances. Cherry Cake was so much better executed.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah. So I'm sad about that. The other thing I want to highlight, how on earth did this win a Melfest heat?
Outrageous.
This, and I'm 100% serious, this isn't me exaggerating for comic effect. This is the worst song I've ever heard.
Yeah. I would rather listen to this than Black Biceps, but they're on the same level for me.
I cannot
It's
explain.
really bad.
I'm going to have an argument with half of my chat because there's a bunch of people in chat being like, yeah, Delulu. This is, I mean, I'm sorry. I just think it's appalling. Like, what's going on in Sweden? What's going on? Some Swedes, please explain this to me. Why this is doing so well.
Could you imagine if this wins over Felicia?
It will not. Felicia is going to totally wipe the floor with everyone now. But I just don't get it. It's horrid.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Everyone in chat is like, no, it's great. Yeah. Other than that, the only other ones to talk about in this semi-final, and then we'll look at the final lineup, because obviously that's next week, and I'm going to be there, is Sanna Nielsen, who's here with Symphony by Clean Bandit. They didn't have the violin in that bit. It's Sanna Nielsen singing a schlagery Sanna Nielsen song.
Eh.
And yet
I'm
this...
tired of Swedish pop.
Mm-hmm. And yet it still goes through. Let's find the Swedish final lineup, just as a final thing to look at before we close up for tonight, because Cheese is probably very hungry. It's 10:30. He's probably lurking in a corner somewhere around here. Where is Sweden? There it is. So, final. Here are your 12 songs. I know you're not the biggest fan of Melodifestivalen, but
Not at all.
is there anything in here that you're like, yeah, I can get on board with this?
Felicia. Definitely Felicia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my Twitter timeline was exploding with clips of my system when we got the performance. At first, I didn't understand it. I even tweeted, I hate Swedish slob without, explicitly mentioning the song. I like it now. I listen to it during the day, my day. I
This is
really
big.
like
For
it
you and a
now.
song in Sweden, this is big.
It is big. I really, really like this song.
I love how you're
And
just like, I listen to it during the day.
yeah, and the night. But it's just I don't know why I hated it in the beginning because it's kind of something I would like. I like rave, going to raves, attending rave adjacent events.
Mm-hmm.
I know the music as well. It's a very Swedish production. Like the production is obviously Swedish, the most Swedish rave there is, but it's still a rave.
Yeah.
and I like it.
Although,
So
the main producer, Alden Agnar, Norwegian.
y-
It's
know,
produced by Norwegians. That's why it's
potato,
sonically. That's why
potato.
it's sonically distinct. Is that it is actually coming from a slightly different production tradition, which I think is notable. Can I tell you? And I don't think chat is going to cancel me for this. You want to know what obviously Felicia is my favorite. You want to know what my second favorite song in this selection is?
Go ahead. Oh no. Oh hell no. Everyone booing tomatoes in the chat.
I just think this is really fun.
The way people are agreeing with you is cool.
Yes! Yes! I can't believe I have somehow won out on this front. God. On that note, Gottem, any closing thoughts on this weekend of madness that you would like to be what you are remembered in this stream for?
We didn't talk about it, but Italy had the perfect opportunity to pick the winner of this year. If they picked that woman who got third place,
Donatella Piaggia.
Ditonella Piaga, it would have done brilliantly. I discovered this song today, have listened to it 50 times.
Wow.
That was my favorite out of the weekend. Um, and the closing statement, UMK is the best national final this year. Easily, they might win, they probably will win, but who should win? Croatia. Thank you.
Thank you, Gottem. And everyone, please say thank you to Gottem for being with us. And go and subscribe to his channel, which Danda is going to post in chat. So you can all go and subscribe to it. For me, thanks everyone for being here this evening. I actually feel way more energetic now than when I arrived. I'm really glad that I sort of forced myself to do the stream. But I was like, I know, I want to do this Sunday night. I want to do it. And we arrived home at 7:54 p.m. So the fact that I managed to get everything together for 8, I'm going to have a moment to say, I'm actually really proud that we got it done and then we got through everything together. So thank you all so much. Just to give you an idea of what's coming this week, I am probably going to do the Everything You Missed in February video tomorrow. Well, it'll come out on Tuesday, but I'll write and film it tomorrow. Friday is going to be the Finland vlog. Then I'm in Sweden at the weekend. There is going to be a video the following Friday about events in Sweden. So those are some of the things that you can look forward to. We're really going to go all in on the Felicia redemption arc narrative. I can tell you right now. For now, check in the description if you want to talk about any of the national finals. The place to do it is in my Discord server. There is a link in the description. Go join right now and make a raid alert appear on all of the moderators' phones. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. And I will look forward to seeing you again next week. Once again, I will be rushing home, and it's going to be 8 p.m. again next week. After that, we are going to pull it back to 7 p.m. start instead of 8, so more people can watch. In the meantime, Gottem, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we will see you all very soon. Good night.